Now we're going to be going into part 2 of our interview with Roger Stabler and Chris Allen about the restoration work on Western Pacific 060 number 165. So now, lately, all of the attention has gone to the big boy.
Obviously.
And rightfully so. They did a fantastic job, and it's a magnificent machine. But we have to remember that
it's not the only engine.
It's not the only engine out there, and an 060 mostly has the same parts as a big boy. There's just not quite as many of them. and guys working diligently in a small shop are sweating just as hard as the guys that are working in big modern shops as well. So hats off to these guys. Let's hear what Roger and Chris have to say.
We have a crew that maintains the diesel equipment here. And a couple of those people, one of them is a machinist, and so he is doing a stable for me right now on the engine. But his normal priority is to take care of the diesel fleet. They have, one of the engines out here has a radiator that got into a freeze. That's unfortunate. Last year we had an unexpected snowfall and it got caught. Forgot it, just one of those things happened when we blew a radiator. So when he gets that radiator out and he brings it in here on the shop floor, the steam guy here is going to sit down with his torches and silver solder, and we're going to fix his radiator for him and put it back in. So it's a cooperative thing. At first when we came in here, there was a very much us, them, those steam guys, these steam guys, those diesel guys. Oh, they're dirty in our shop. They're doing this. And as I've reminded them, I'm on the board of directors here now, remind people, this is the Western Pacific Railroad Museum. There's no us, them. We're all the same crew. Its engine doesn't belong to the steam department. It belongs to the Western Pacific Railroad Museum. It's primarily going to be special events, and probably once a month at the most to start out with. It will be offered in the RAL program, but it will only be offered in the RAL program in days that it's scheduled to already be running. So if we're going to say Mother's Day, we're going to fire the engine up and we're going to run this engine Mother's Day, we'll probably allow about 2 RAL spots on those days, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. And it'll be a run only, no firing. We're not going to trust this thing to somebody that we don't know.
You just can't show up and run the thing. It takes a whole week, one weekend to prep, one weekend to run, and another weekend to break things down, wash it out. So it's not like a diesel where you can just come in and push the button and it takes it.
So, and I do have a day job.
It's very labor intensive.
And I have a day job. Yeah, so.
I have a house to build.
He has a house to build, yeah. Well, as you can see, the dry pipe, all the studs that went into the dry pipe were extremely corroded, so they've all been replaced. This hole here is where the snifter valve goes, and we have one. We're missing one, so we're going to manufacture a snifter here. It won't look quite original, but it'll function like the original. And to replace that one, we did replace the air tanks. We got rid of the riveted tanks and went to welded tanks, so that these are pre-drilled. We never have to hydro them. We don't have to worry about them. They meet all the standards. The running gear on this engine, this is what I said, was actually fairly tight for an engine that ran its lifespan. We do have everything, even though it's not on the engine right now. The brake rigging is probably the most wore out thing, so we will be doing a lot of pen work on the brake rigging once we get to these holes. Will have to be restored and made round again, and then we'll drive new press new pins in and hang everything back under it. So that was probably a surprise how wore out that was. I hadn't seen brake rigging that worn out. So we have a blowdown valve here to go on yet. That was going to go this week, but we had a little issue with some piping, so that'll wait to get some parts ordered for it and then we'll get it back on. We're looking at the 13 staples that were changed out on the bottom of the firebox because we have a patch that we put in on the inside. So we had to cut those out to get the sheet out, and then we put those back. The marks you see on the side of the boiler, those are the metric ultrasound marks that told us what the shell thickness was on the boiler for our Form 4 work, which is all done. Our Form 4 is done and has already been submitted to the FRA. So we have some of the appliances up on the engine have been reinstalled, and we're continuing to bring more of them over as when we have the crew here. This was our steam blitz weekend, so Thursday, Friday, I had a pretty good sized crew in here working. And because of the dinner tonight, it's kind of slowed down in here. We don't want to stir everything up while the dinner's going. So we put 24 new radial stays in the boiler. That work was completed yesterday. Crown stays have all been put back in and are done. So, like I said, we're getting very close to the time to button it up and make it cook. I believe the whistle was donated by, I think that came from Norm Holmes, and I think that was off the 166, is what I was told. So it is a WP whistle. So
the Western Pacific, more than any other railroad on the West, was more like a family atmosphere,
yeah.
Whereas the Southern Pacific was more of a corporate atmosphere, but they're trying to basically carry that on.
So it's been a cultural shift here, but it's starting to take effect. That us-them is just really starting to disappear.
Remember that every piece that we put out is a segment of the extended episode that is available to our Gold and Silver Spike members. So head over to our webpage, rrshowcase.com, and sign up for about the price of a cup of coffee per month.
Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Take care.